Hey, what's going on, everyone? Welcome to the channel where we talk about finance, real estate, and investing. I am really excited about today's video because I believe there is a misconception about the home buying process being difficult, slow, and extremely overwhelming. And admittedly, while that can be true in some cases, I believe that understanding the process, managing expectations, and knowing which professionals to lean on can actually alleviate a lot of the stress and anxiety that comes along with purchasing a home and moving. And that's why in today's video, I'm going to break down the home buying process in 6 simple, fast steps that are easy to understand and are going to help you navigate through the process of purchasing your first home. My name is Lewis. Let's get into it. All right, so step number 1, selecting a real estate professional. Now, this is especially important if you're just starting out or purchasing your first home. Why? Because a good real estate agent is going to take the time to sit down with you, define criteria, and understand all of your wants and needs. They're going to take into consideration things like the location, the price range, if school districts are a consideration, the amenities that you're looking for, what are some of the must-haves or potential deal breakers that'll affect your transaction. And once they gather this information, they're going to be able to provide helpful suggestions that'll further define the criteria for you and help you narrow the search. With this information, both you and your real estate agent can be very intentional on where you focus your time, energy, and efforts so that you can find the right home at the right price. Now, a great agent is also going to have excellent referral partners that can assist you throughout the transaction and help guide you. This would include lenders, inspectors, escrow officers, contractors, and maybe even property managers if you decide you want to turn your home into a rental property down the line. It's important to keep in mind that selecting a real estate agent is a very important decision, and that you and this agent will likely be developing a working relationship that may last weeks, months, or even years in some cases. My point being is that make sure that they understand your wants and your needs, have a good grasp on what you're looking to accomplish, and they are willing to take the time to explain things in plain English so that you understand and feel comfortable with everything that's going on. Okay, step number 2, getting pre-approved. So a lot of real estate agents will probably tell you up front that you need to have a discussion with the lender. And the reason behind that is because it helps solidify your purchasing power and determines your ability to close on a transaction. During the initial call with the lender, they're going to walk you through the pre-approval process. That would include taking an application, looking at your credit, and then requesting documents to verify your income and your assets. They'll ask for things like pay stubs, W-2s, maybe even tax returns in some cases, and then bank statements. During this call, they're going to be able to determine your purchasing power and provide you with a general idea of what to expect as far as monthly payment, interest rate, and loan terms. And the idea here is that they're going to look at your profile through the lens of an underwriter and make sure that you meet all of the lender's guidelines. And if you do, they're going to issue you a pre-approval letter. The other thing they're going to do is they're going to look to identify any roadblocks or challenges up front so that you can address them prior to making offers on properties and getting under contract. That brings us to step number 3, searching for the right home. So you've already done some of the groundwork, you've defined your criteria, you've had a discussion with a lender, you feel confident in your ability to purchase. Now it's just a matter of finding the right property for you. Now in a competitive market, it's important to see homes as soon as they hit the market. So you want to make sure your real estate agent gets you set up on something called automatic listing alerts. Basically, the way this works is that you and your agent define specific criteria, they plug it into their MLS, and when a property hits the market that fits the bill, you'll get an email notification immediately, and that'll prompt you to review the listing and potentially schedule a showing. Keep in mind that using this software, you're only going to receive listings that fit your specific criteria. So I always encourage people to keep a lookout for other properties that might be a good fit. And in order to do that, you can use sites like Redfin or Realtor.com to track the homes that are hitting the market within like a certain radius of the location that you're looking for. And if you happen to find a listing that you like that didn't come up on an automatic listing alert, make sure to text or email that listing over to your real estate agent so that they can get the details for you and possibly schedule a showing. Now, with access to all the technology that's available today, it's quite possible that you may actually be the one to find the right home for you. After all, You know yourself better than anyone else. But of course, once you find the right property, it's time to lean on your real estate agent and have them help you get that property under contract. That brings us to step number 4, which is making offers and negotiating the deal. This is where your real estate agent can really shine because they can provide you with valuable data points that will indicate where the property's value should be. So you're gonna wanna look at things like comparable properties that have recently sold, the different amenities that those homes had, the upgrades, the quality of construction, the lot size, the price per square foot, and potentially even the inventory levels that might influence the market climate. Additionally, this is a great time for your agent to contact the listing agent and probe for some additional information about the sellers. For example, why are the sellers selling? Have any inspections been conducted? Is there anything specific that the seller is looking for? And when will offers be reviewed? Armed with this information, you and your agent can determine the price and the terms that you're willing to offer and prepare it for submission. Now, at this point, it's important to keep in mind that this is a negotiation and that most offers don't get accepted without at least a little bit of back and forth between the parties that are involved. So just try to remember this as you're working through some counteroffers and your agent's trying to put the deal together. Once the price and the terms are agreed to by both parties and the contract is signed, you officially have a willing buyer and a willing seller, and you are under contract. Time for step number 5, which means that we have to open escrow and do all of your due diligence. So if you're not familiar with escrow or title, it is essentially a neutral third party that effectively holds the property until both parties, buyer and seller, have fulfilled their portion of the contract. So for example, the seller is going to have a certain amount of days to provide their disclosures to you as the buyer. And you as the buyer will have a set amount of time to deliver the earnest money deposit, provide proof of funds, provide a pre-approval letter, conduct all of the inspections that you see fit, have an appraisal completed, and confirm that your financing is secure. During your buyer investigation period, this is where you conduct inspections like your home inspection, pest inspection, roof, HVAC, sewer, things of that nature. And it's your time to identify if there's any issues that you didn't see when you originally looked at the property. If there are any major issues at this point, you have the ability to go back and renegotiate with the seller. Once the buyer investigations are complete and everything checks out according to plan and your loan is ready for closing, it is time to move on to the final step. Last but not least is step number 6. This is the most exciting part, and that is closing. Now, during this step, the escrow or title company is going to handle the closing, and they're going to line up a notary to sign all of the closing documents for both the buyer and the seller. They also handle any money that changes hands in the transaction. So they're going to have you as the buyer wire the remaining amount of funds needed to close. They're going to handle the wire from the lender when your loan funds. They're going to issue any payment for any prorated amount of taxes and insurance. And they're going to disperse any of the proceeds back to the seller when your loan closes. The escrow and title company will also record the transaction with the county and get confirmation that the title has officially changed hands, making you the new owner of the property. Once this is complete, you are officially a homeowner, and it's time to get your keys. That's going to wrap it up for today's video. If you found the information useful, please consider subscribing to see more content about finance, real estate, and investing. And if you wouldn't mind, please smash that like button. When you smash that like button, it tells YouTube to share this information with more viewers, and it really helps grow and promote the channel. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you on the next video. Take care.